Hey everyone, Craig with Single Length School, and in this video, I've got something big. If you guys follow me on my social media channels, you know I teased a really big review coming, probably the biggest review I've done and will do for a very long time. So let's take a look. You guys know the drill. If you're new to the channel, haven't yet done so, hit the subscribe button down below, hit the notifications bell right beside it, or at any point during the video, click on my logo in the bottom right corner and you can subscribe right there. Also, go check out the social media channels. I'm gonna pop up those links to my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram page right here, and you can go check out the website, singlelengthschool.com. So we've talked about the different manufacturers a couple weeks ago that produce single length or one length irons, and everybody knows the big boy on the block, Cobra. Well, Cobra's the most well known because it's the biggest company that does it, and they have Bryson in their back pocket. Well, I don't think they're the best, and I'm going to tell you why. So for you guys that have studied Bryson's background and know a little bit more about Bryson, before he turned pro and signed with Cobra, Bryson won the NCAA championship and the US Amateur using a single length set from Edel Golf. David Edel started working with Bryson when he was younger and built his single length sets. Well, thanks to Chris and Tim down at Edel Golf, I've got my own set now. So let's talk a little bit about Edel. Now, Edel, if you watched the single length options review or the single length video about the options that you can buy with single length, you know that Edel is at the top tier of what you can buy and what you're going to get with single length options. Now, I'm going to pop some pictures up here, but as you can see, these are actually a forged iron, and they're beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous. Now, I want to walk you through the whole process because this really says a lot about Edel Golf, and then I'm going to come back and tell you what these clubs were like to hit. So with Edel Golf, I had reached out to Chris, and Chris handles the marketing for Edel. We had a great conversation, and he actually brought Tim, who's their master club fitter, into the conversation. We had a nice talk, nice video chat. I learned a lot more about the company, where they came from, how long they've been doing it. And when I say they've been doing it probably the longest or close to the longest of the companies out there, that's no joke. They've been doing it for a long time, well over a decade in the single length industry. So we had our discussions. I really liked the sounds of everything. And at the end of it, Chris and Tim said, hey, you know what? Let's build you a set and get you a set to try. That's right, build. So Tim and I went back and forth through emails. I was playing the Cobra Forge Tech Black, sent him the specs on that. And we actually did an over-the-phone fitting. He took the time just for a review. Chris and Tim took the time to set this up and actually make me feel like I'm a true full-paying customer. And that just speaks volumes about their customer service and the pride they're putting into their equipment. So Tim and I had the discussion. What lofts? What do I like? What's my set makeup? What's my lie angle or preferred lie angle? What kind of ball flight, shafts, grips, the whole 9 yards on the phone call. And it was amazing. So a couple days later, he emails me back, hey, I'm starting the build. I'll have them done in, give me about 4 or 5 days, and I will ship them out. So from the time Tim told me he was starting on them to the time I got them was about a week and a half, which is a great turnaround for custom built clubs. Now, let's take a little bit of a look into the club itself, and let's start at the club head. So with the Edel set, they actually have a lie angle that stays the same across the entire set of clubs. a true single length set of irons with the idea of same setup, same swing. Now we know Cobra doesn't do that because they think people tend to swing harder with the longer irons and easier with the short irons, so they adjust the loft. Edel does not, and it truly showed up when I was out on the range testing these out. But as I said at the beginning, these are forged, and if you look, almost kind of like a PXG, and in fact, I just saw a PXG photo with a weight that looks very similar to the Edel set. So this weight here is actually interchangeable, so you can adjust the head weights. And I'm gonna pop a picture up here, but Tim also sent me a ton of additional weights so I can change out the entire set. So taking a look at this weight, you actually don't need a special tool. It's a basic Allen wrench to pop that weight out, put in a new one. And again, as I said, you can make the club head lighter or heavier using this weight, which I really, really like. Now, in terms of what you're gonna see in the shaft, so this is a Paterson Kinect shaft, single length iron shaft built specifically for Edel. Edel is the only company using this shaft. And yes, it's graphite. So after talking with Tim and discussing my swing speed and the set that I currently had, so the Cobras, I had a stiff KBS steel shaft. This is actually a special regular flex graphite shaft that tends to play stiffer than what a normal regular graphite shaft does. The other thing this does is help produce the proper trajectory on the clubs. So they've worked with Paterson for years on building the perfect shaft for single length irons. And honestly, I think they've done a great job on that. And finally, the grip. So you guys know I had a multi-compound most recently on my other set. They threw it on for me mid-sized and sent the set out. Now let's talk about the set they sent me. So we wanted to keep things in line with what I had. So this is actually custom built to 37.25 inches rather than 37.5. So it's a 1/4 inch shorter. The other thing that we discussed in terms of the club makeup was the set. So at the time I was playing a 4 hybrid, 5-through pitching wedge, gap wedge, sand wedge at 56, a 60 degree, and I had an additional 64 degree wedge in the bag. Talked with Tim and we discussed my gapping during the fitting. And I had a 15-yard gap between my pitching wedge and my gap wedge with the Cobra set. After our discussions, we decided that we're gonna take that gap wedge and lower the degree 2 degrees on it. So instead of having a 6-degree gap between my pitching wedge and my gap wedge, we now have it down to 4 degrees. And then my sand wedge, instead of being a traditional 56, it's bent to a 54. My 60 went to a 58, and my 64 is a 62. Now, the 62 is the first time I've actually been able to get a club that lofted in the single length set. And it's all because of the custom build from Edel. Now, I've also been told from Tim, they will bend a wedge up to 70 degrees. They built a 70+ degree wedge, which is crazy. But the wedges are the only ones, so my 58 and my 62 are the only ones that don't have the weighting. They're more of a traditional head, but they took the time to not only adjust the loft angle for me, but also grind it down so all the swing weights match from my wedges to the rest of the set. So again, like I said, up and above and beyond with the customer service from Edel. The next thing I'm sure you guys want to wonder or are wondering about is how do they hit? I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I sent to Tim and Chris in my email. The first 2 words I put in that email was holy. That's right. That was all caps, holy. So right off the bat, the first swing I took with these Edels was so smooth. The contact was so good, and the ball flight was absolutely amazing. In fact, it was a higher trajectory than what I was getting with my Cobra set. It was a beautiful, nice little 3-yard draw, and it stopped nice and soft. Plus, I think it had maybe about 3 or 4 more yards of carry. Not that I need the extra carry, but just overall, the second that ball flew off the club, I was like blown away. Now, the cool thing is, and I want to tell you a little bit of a difference why the loft, or not the loft, the lie angle is a huge thing with these clubs and the loft being the same. So I've been with the single length, one length concept for a long time. I understand and actually do swing the club exactly the same across the board. So compared to what I was told by Cobra, why they adjust the lie angles, swinging harder with some clubs, swinging easier with others, I don't do that. So with that set, I would see my typical draw flight, but my 5-6 iron was maybe a 2-yard draw, get down 7, 8, 9, maybe 5-6 yard draw, and then my wedges, it was like a 10 to 11 yard draw just because of the lie angles. When I was going through this set, I had a guy beside me in the bay, and I have to laugh because this is one of the greatest stories I've ever been involved with. But I'm sitting in the bay, and there's an older gentleman in front of me. I'm kind of staring at his back. But I'm just working my way down through the set, 3 balls, 4 balls per club. And kind of later in the range session, he turns around to me and said, "I've never seen that." And I said, "I'm sorry, I don't understand what you mean." And he's like, "I know that you're changing clubs because the height of your ball flight's different and the distance is different." He said, "But I've never seen someone and never seen anybody produce the exact same ball flight club to club. Everything was a nice little 4-yard draw." And I'm talking from the 4 iron the whole way down through the 62-degree wedge. And that's all because of these lie angles. There's so much science and so much research that's been done by Edel over the course of 10 plus years in building these sets that they know exactly what the hell they're doing. So the guy beside me was blown away. Next thing I know, we're talking for 30 minutes about these clubs, about the single length, and he's interested. My grandfather knew I was getting these, immediately knew I was at the range. "Hey, what'd you think?" Well, now he's asking me if there's some kind of coupon code or if I can work out some kind of deal with Chris and Tim for my grandfather, who's not a single length player, but after hearing what I've been able to do with these, really wants to jump in. And he said, "If I'm going in, I'm going with what you trust." So at the end of the day, when I say this was the biggest review, not in terms of the value of the clubs, but in terms of the quality and the production value and the behind the scenes customer service and everything that goes along with it, Edel is the top of the top. There's no question about it. I've tried many sets of the Cobra. I've tried some of the other brands. At the end of the day, these are in my bag. These are going to stay in my bag until somebody absolutely blows these out of the water. So guys, I know a lot of you are going to say, "Well, I can't afford the Edel set. It's up there in the price range, kind of out of my ballpark." Here's going to be my answer to you. Start saving your pennies now. If I would have known these were this good, I honestly would have saved up the money to buy these 3 years ago. They're that good. I'm so angry at myself because I didn't have these sooner. So do yourself a favor. Start saving, start budgeting. If you really want a top of the line set and you feel you're ready for forged single length irons, there's no other way to go than Edel. And guys, I can't say enough to Chris and Tim, and I haven't had the chance to thank David personally, who is the founder of Edel Golf, David Edel. I haven't talked to him personally yet, but the guys were great. I can't thank them enough. They went above and beyond, as I said. I'm hoping that I can actually get David on and tell us some of his stories with Bryson and the whole creation process and how far these have come over the years. So hopefully we're going to be able to get that scheduled soon, and I can get that out to you guys, because I think his wealth of knowledge is going to be something that can really benefit all single length or one length players out there. But again, guys, go check out Edel, edelgolf.com. I'll put the link down in the description for you. It took me 3 days to come up with the words for this video. I was blown away. I was speechless with the quality, overall customer service, the whole 9 yards, all for a video review of their equipment. So Chris, Tim, David, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys find joy. If you have questions on these irons, you can feel free to reach out to me. If I don't have the answer, I can put you in touch with Tim, the Master Club Builder. He can get your questions answered. But again, you really want to get a high quality set, one of the best sets of single length irons out there. Save your pennies, get the Edel. And guys, that's it. I'm blown away. There's no way I'm going to top this anytime soon. So hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope this gives you guys something to think about. Hopefully you start saving to get yourself your own set of Edels. And as always, we're golfing smarter, not harder here at Single Length School. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button down below, hit the notifications bell, smash the like button, and check us out on our social media channels and at singlelengthschool.com. But until the next video, guys, I'll see you in the fairway.